If you think your cat is fine just because she eats, sleeps, and comes home to you every night, you are missing something that is already breaking her down from the inside. Loneliness in cats does not look like sadness. It looks like a bald patch you blamed on shedding. It looks like aggression you thought was attitude. It looks like 3 a.m. crying you learned to sleep through. You have been living with the signs every single day and reading every single one of them wrong. These 8 signs will change the way you see your cat forever, and once you know them, you cannot unknow them. Number 1. The bald patch that has nothing to do with shedding. You noticed it weeks ago. A thin spot on her belly, maybe her inner thighs. You told yourself it was seasonal shedding, maybe allergies. You moved on. It wasn't shedding. When a cat is lonely or chronically stressed, she starts grooming compulsively, not because she is dirty, because grooming releases endorphins. And when she has no other source of comfort, that becomes her only coping mechanism. Veterinarians call this psychogenic alopecia. The grooming becomes so repetitive, so constant, that the hair simply stops growing back. And here is what makes this sign so easy to miss. Most cats only do it when you are not watching. You leave for work, she grooms, you come home, she stops. The bald patch grows slowly. By the time you notice it, it has been going on for months. Check her belly right now, her inner thighs, the base of her tail. If the fur there looks thinner than everywhere else, that is not a grooming habit. That is a distress signal. And there is something else she has been doing in plain sight that most owners write off as a quirk. Number 2. She stares at nothing. For a long time, you have seen it. She sits perfectly still, locked onto a blank wall. You filmed it, you thought it was funny, you posted it. A study published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that over 60% of cats who displayed prolonged empty space staring were living in under-enriched environments. Not haunted houses, under-enriched environments. No stimulation, no engagement, nothing that makes her brain feel alive. When a cat has nothing meaningful to focus on, her nervous system starts filling the silence. She stares at walls, she fixates on corners, she sits in the same spot for 20 minutes, and you have no idea why. It looks bizarre. It is actually one of the clearest windows into how empty her day feels when you are not there. If she does this regularly, it is not a quirk, it is a sign. But this next one, most owners get completely backwards. Number 3. She is sleeping too much. And it is not laziness. Cats sleep a lot. Everyone knows this. 12 to 14 hours is completely normal. So when your cat sleeps more than usual, you do not panic. You think, that is just cats. Here is what you do not know. A lonely or depressed cat can sleep 18 to 20 hours a day, not because she is tired, because she has nothing to wake up for. Sleep becomes an escape. The same way a depressed person stays in bed, not because they are exhausted, but because getting up requires a reason, and she does not have one. The difference is subtle, but it is there. Watch whether she sleeps through things she used to react to. A toy hitting the floor, the sound of the fridge opening, your voice from another room. If she used to respond and now she doesn't, that is not aging. That is withdrawal. And withdrawal shows up in another way that hits even closer to home. Number 4. She stopped caring about food, or she cannot stop eating. Both directions mean the same thing. Some lonely cats lose interest in food entirely. They eat less. They walk away from a full bowl. You assume she is being picky. She is not being picky. She has lost motivation, and food is one of the first things to go. Other cats go the opposite way. They eat too fast. They finish everything and immediately look for more. They become obsessive around mealtimes in a way they never used to be. This is compulsive behavior, the same mechanism as the over-grooming. When a cat has no other source of stimulation or reward, food becomes the only thing that gives her a dopamine hit. She is not greedy. She is trying to feel something. Watch how she eats. The speed, the attitude before and after. Any significant change from her normal pattern is information, and some of that frustration spills out in a way that can feel deeply personal. Number 5. She is using the floor instead of the litter box. You found it. You were frustrated. Maybe you scolded her. You assumed she was being difficult, or that something was wrong with the litter box. Here is what research actually shows. Inappropriate elimination, urinating or defecating outside the litter box, is one of the most documented stress responses in domestic cats. The National Library of Medicine lists it as one of the most frequently reported signs of feline psychological distress. She is not doing it to punish you. She is not being lazy. Her nervous system is under enough pressure that her normal behaviors are breaking down. If this started recently and there is no medical explanation, stop punishing her for it. Start asking why it started, because the next sign is one that almost nobody connects to loneliness, and it is the one that damages the relationship the most. Number 6. She follows you everywhere, and it is not cute. She is outside the bathroom door. She is on the counter while you cook. She is on your feet the second you sit down. You think she loves you. She does. But this level of attachment is not healthy love, it is anxiety. Behaviorists call this hyperattachment. It develops when a cat has spent so many hours alone that your presence becomes her only source of safety. She is not following you because she is content. She is following you because she is terrified of what happens when you leave. Every time you walk into another room, her stress response activates. Every time you leave the house, she falls apart. The cat who cannot let you out of her sight is not the cat who trusts you completely. She is the cat who has learned that being alone is something to survive. And when that survival instinct reaches its limit, this is what happens next. Number 7. She attacks you when you come home. You walk through the door. She bit you, maybe scratched. You thought she was being aggressive. You thought she was punishing you for leaving. She was not punishing you. She was releasing 8 hours of built-up frustration. In the first moment, she felt safe enough to let it out. Cats who experience chronic loneliness build up what behaviorists call redirected aggression, stress that has nowhere to go all day. And when you finally walk through that door, something in her snaps. Not because she hates you, because you are the only one there. You are the only safe target. The bite is not anger at you. It is 8 hours of silence finally breaking. If this happens regularly, do not correct her in that moment. Give her 5 minutes. Let her decompress. Then greet her. That one change alone can stop the behavior within days. And once the house goes quiet at night, the last sign is the hardest one to hear. Number 8. She cries at night, and nobody can explain why. It starts around 2 or 3 a.m., a low, long vocalization. Sometimes it sounds like pain. Sometimes it sounds almost human. You check on her. Nothing is wrong. She settles. Then it starts again. This is not random. Cats are hardwired to be most alert at dawn and dusk, the hours their wild ancestors hunted. When a cat is lonely, that biological peak has nothing to attach itself to. No stimulation, no interaction, no hunt. The energy and the need for connection surface at exactly those hours, and with nowhere to go, it comes out as sound. She is not sick. She is not in pain. She is calling out into a quiet house and getting nothing back. That sound is what loneliness actually sounds like in a cat. And if you have heard it, you already know it stays with you. Of these 8 signs, how many sound familiar? Drop it in the comments. And if your cat does the 3 a.m. crying, tell me how long it has been happening, because that one is more common than most owners admit.